Welcome everyone to today's Twitter space. Let's wait a moment for our guests and the audience to join us gradually.
Hey friends, can you hear me?
Hi, Aljo, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, and let's wait for 2 more minutes to for our audience to join in.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, let's start our Twitter space today. And this is Kristen from PolkaWorld, and I'm thrilled to have all of you with us today. It's been a week since Polkadot's unlock, and interestingly, our estimations at PolkaWorld suggest that around 50% of addresses are still in the wait and see phase regarding their DOT. And fortunately, the DOT price remained stable, and the anticipated market panic didn't happen. Meanwhile, Polkadot's Coretime is progressing steadily. Where is Polkadot headed in the future? Today, we are honored to have representatives from leading projects in Polkadot ecosystems here to provide a comprehensive overview of the unlock event, Coretime, and Polkadot's potential trajectory. Additionally, we are delighted to have GS from CIK on the blockchain join us as a co-host. And to kick things off, we invite each guest to briefly introduce themselves and share some data and insights since the first batch of Crowdloan unlock on October 24th. How about let's begin with Aljo from Talisman?
Hello mate, how you going? Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. My name's Agile. I'm the co-founder of Talisman, and we build two products. The first is the the Talisman wallet, which is a Polkadot ecosystem browser extension wallet that makes it really easy to explore the Polkadot ecosystem, see all of your assets in one place, use apps, stake, govern, do all the things. And we also build the Talisman portal, which is a web application where you can do a lot of the same functions, and but you can bring any wallet, whether you're a sub-wallet user or a Polkadot.js user. So yeah, I'll hand it over to the next person to introduce themselves.
Do you have some data to share regarding the Crowdloan unlock?
Yeah, sure. I mean, let me tell you actually that since the unlock, I can tell you that there's been Talisman allows users to stake in what's called a nomination pool, which is a very simple way to stake. So you can stake with as little as one DOT token, and you can do it in one click. You don't have to choose validators to stake with. Talisman abstracts all of that complexity away. And so since the unlock, there has been, I believe, a total of about 170,000 dots have been staked in across Talisman's two pools. We have two pools. One is the largest nomination pool in the Polkadot ecosystem. It's about almost as big as about 50% of the entire nomination pool market. But that one has grown by about 102,000 dot, and then our other the first one has grown by about 68,000 dot, and then our other pool number two has grown by about 102,000 dot. So yeah, it's been very interesting to see the unlock so far. I think that you put it well. You said that most wallets are still in the wait and see phase, and so there's a lot more opportunities, for applications like Talisman to help users aggregate their assets.
Yeah, amazing. And Ryan, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Azo. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan from Subwallet, and I take care of business partnership and integration at Subwallet. So at the moment, Subwallet is kind of a comprehensive non-custodial wallet solution for the Polkadot ecosystem, which is also EVM compatible. So Subwallet is available on browser extension, mobile app, and the web app as well. Until now, we have about a total of 150,000 installs. and the weekly active users is about 100,000. Subwallet team is also the team behind Dot Insights, which is the research hub and data platform. We do like quarterly reports to share with the people in the ecosystem and also outside the ecosystem about what is going on in Polkadot in terms of developer activities, transactions, DeFi, and also dig into parachains and the dApps in those ecosystems. So about a week ago, we launched the Sub Wallet web app, and we also have the earning page where we aggregate all the liquid staking and also native staking solutions in the Polkadot ecosystem to provide users with a kind of comprehensive staking solution for them to do. So users will no need to like go to every single protocol to do the staking. But they can do everything in one-stop shop in Subwallet web app. And we also integrated other wallets in the ecosystem like Talisman and Polkadot.js into the web app. And I think Nova is also coming very soon in the web app, so that the users not only from Subwallet but from the whole ecosystem can go to the web app and do staking there. Thank you.
Thank you, amazing. And being the first to secure a slot, we are eager to hear how Akala is progressing. So welcome Travis from Akala to tell us more.
Yes, I'll be happy to. Thanks for having me or inviting me to the space. So yes, for those that don't know too much about Akala, we are an app chain focusing on LSTs and products built atop of LSTs, as we do believe that that will be the new base layer of centralized finance. Like clapping effects? That's pretty cool. We have, one of our products is Euphrates. It's a boosted liquid staking platform. And that has been the platform we've used to focus just before the unlock and I guess during the unlock and now. And statistically, we have over 4.2 million dots staked on Euphrates and growing. So there, you can take part in our two liquid staking tokens that we have there. There's L dot and T dot. Yeah, we'll be happy to share more things as the space goes on. But thanks again for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Moonbeam secured the first bunch of slots with the highest dot lock-in. So Yuki, can you enlighten us on how the unlock is shaping up at Moonbeam?
Hi, thanks for inviting Moonbeam here. I'm Yuki Pan from the Moonbeam Chinese community. I'm taking care of the Moonbeam Asia ecosystem and supporting for projects deployed on Moonbeam, develop on Moonbeam, and the leverage, exactly, the release the dot, how to leverage the value for the whole Polkadot ecosystem. Actually, I agree. As our host mentioned before, like Moonbeam get the largest amount of dot during the last Crowdloan. So currently, like from Moonbeam, our core is to find out how to leverage to help the users to find the potential value of dot token, not just like staked as before, but to find out more and more use cases and scenarios. So that's why, like for Moonbeam, we have provide a new solution. This is like to support the DeFi applications, can give the token holder flexibility to use their dot token in new ways. So that new ways is called XCDOT. So XCDOT is aligned with the ERC20 standards active on Moonbeam. And this is like a compatibility solution that makes the dot token available for using all types of application, including DeFi. So you can imagine that like maybe previously, maybe for the native dot, it might be a little hard to find, especially for the DeFi use cases. But while using Axidot, which is comprised of substrate native assets like dots, and also they can compatible with ERC20, so that like the dot can be valued into perpetual, for example, perpetual swap, liquidity pools, decentralized exchange, or even lending and borrowing. But for the data, unfortunately, I didn't have some of the exact data for the Xdot. But here I can share some of the use cases in the Moonbeam ecosystem. So one example is like BingSwap, which is the only perpetual platform on Polkadot. It's a Moonbeam-based DeFi hub, and they providing the Xdot peer-to-peer transactions powered by a standard stabilized AMA module. And Gamma, they manages Xdot liquidity pools. StellarSwap, I suppose, like most of our ecosystem members already know this project. It's a decentralized exchange on Moonbeam. And with the built-in bridgings, they can swap the Xdot to other tokens that you want. And the other one is called Prime Protocol, which is the first natively cross-chain Prime brokerage based on the Moonbeam network that can facilitate users. Like, for example, they can borrowing Xdot, the native dot assets across blockchains, maybe using their existed, for example, the Ethereum tokens or like the BNB chains tokens, convenience their user experience. And also the other one I want to emphasize is the Bifrost. So we know like Bifrost is also one part of the Polkadot ecosystem. So in the Moonbeam ecosystem, now you can transfer your dot to Bifrost and stake it for VDOT, which is a yield-bearing dot derivative. So overall, like you can see, there's a lot of use cases here happens in the Moonbeam ecosystem. I would say like the release for the Crowdloan is a new opportunity for the whole like ecosystem, not just for developers. They can have a wider space and the potential to develop new applications for the users and for the token holders. They can find out like more potential opportunities to explore the extra value of DOT. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yuki. And Tyrone, Bifrost has seen a surge in VDOT recently. We'd love to hear more from you.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I'm Tyrone from Bifrost, and Bifrost is the passion to provide omni-chain liquid staking services. And basically on what Yuki mentioned about the Moonbeam collaboration with Bifrost, so it's more spaces for the collaboration and use cases for users. So not only like what Yuki just mentioned about that you can cross your DOT from Moonbeam to Bifrost and mint liquid staking token of DOT and transfer it back to Moonbeam, but we provide you a more convenience way to execute it. So it's very simple that if you use a holding DOT on Moonbeam, you don't have to come to Bifrost. You just stay in the EVM of Moonbeam in a contract, and we provided a dApp, which name is the omi.ls. So you can just directly drop into the dApp and connect your EVM wallet, MetaMask, and you can just directly mint Bifrost liquid staking DOT on Moonbeam, and it is the XC token. So I mean, it's not a native substrate asset, but it is EVM compatible XC token. So it's quite interesting, right? This is what something that we recently deployed is the Omi chain stack to provide liquid staking services on a different destination chains, so that users don't have a more fluently experience on interaction with liquid staking, so they don't have to cross their assets for multiple times to achieve it. And besides that, we in this month for the dot unlock, we launched several functions for liquid staking. For example, like LST stable swap. That's what we launched for a lower slippage stable curve. And by the way, more interestingly, that for liquid staking, if you can imagine that the LST token can be used for Polkadot governance. So right now we are launching it. It's something like you're holding the VDOT, which is a liquid staking token of Bifrost. So if you're a holder of VDOT, you can jump into the Polkadot open governance proposal voting by using a VDOT. This is a new function that we just provided recently, and basically you just directly interact with Bifrost app and vote for a proposal on Polkadot. So that's underlying is XCM cross-chain messaging to the voting on Polkadot governance. I would like to introduce more detailedly in the further questions. And on the data front, since the unlock, Bifrost has accumulated about increasing of dot staking about 1.2 million dot on Bifrost, and I think that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyrone, and thank you, everyone. I see that some people are requesting to be the speakers. If you can wait for a little bit, we will soon open up the floor to speakers to ask questions. So let's move on to our first topic. That is, as the Crowdloan continues its unlocking process, what do you envision to be the most significant market impact? Where lie the opportunities and challenges? And what strategies are being employed in response? Let's hear from Alger first.
Thank you. Well, the dot unlock is a really interesting moment in time. I think that it's a big opportunity for protocols, for parachains who want to acquire liquidity and acquire dots. And so, as we heard from Akala and Bifrost, they have unique opportunities to take dot assets and leverage them. And so, one thing I would say is that for users who know how to leverage decentralized applications, know how to use a wallet like Talisman, you can take your dots, you can take your assets, and there's some very large incentives because all of these parachains, all of these protocols are competing in strong competition for your liquidity. So I think that presents a really interesting opportunity for anyone who wants to check that out. Obviously, not financial advice. You need to suss out the individual protocols, try and understand how they work, do your own research. But I think in general, as all of these parachains simultaneously compete for liquidity, really the user is ultimately the one that benefits. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. How does Ryan see this issue?
Hi, sorry, can you repeat the question again, please?
As the Crowdloan continues its unlocking process, what do you envision to be the most significant market impact? Where lie the opportunities and the challenges? And what strategies are being employed in response?
Well, I think that is a very kind of difficult question to answer, but I would say from the end users and also the builders' viewpoint, many people care about the price impact because we know that for statistics. So for this Crowdloan unlock, we have about more than 100 million dot unlock, and from about 100,000 addresses. So before the Crowdloan unlock, we talk to our users and let's say dot holders, and also the builders who are considering to build, to enter and build on the Polkadot ecosystem. They kind of worry about the dot price can going down after the Crowdloan unlock. But in fact, we can see the price is going up, right? And I think that that can be a very good, a very positive signal, not about financial, but about the what people think, what users and builders think about the future of Polkadot. So we can see it as a signal to believe that people are more bullish on the future of Polkadot's technology and its impact on the Web3 space. And also, I think for the measures, we need to see at the number of dot stack after the Crowdloan unlock. So I think on native staking, from the last week, we can see more than 22 million, more than 22 million dot has been staked in the native staking, and the number of dot on nomination pool has increased from 7.5 million to more than 9 million. And from liquid staking like Bifrost, Akala, Parallel, we can see that the number of dot stacked on liquid staking has increased more than about 5 million dots. So I think those numbers and statistics can show that people are believing in DOT, and they contribute more for the security and more for the decentralization of DOT, Polkadot ecosystem as a whole. So this is not a financial advice, but from our point of view, we think that it is a very positive signal for us to keep building. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate your insights. Let's listen to Travis' thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think Agile and Ryan put it well together. That and we at Akala, we also see this as an opportunity, and also an opportunity for users to take advantage of all the parachains, looking for liquidity. And so I think I'll share that why we are looking for liquidity. Again, at Akala, we want to build an LST-Fi ecosystem with many different products for users, and all these products require liquidity. And the more liquidity there is, the more advanced products we can build. So that's why there's opportunities for users or holders of DOT to find a chain. It could be Akala, it could be any other one, and see if they believe in the vision of the parachain, and whether they want to stake there for the vision or for the rewards. It's up to them. I think what's interesting too that I've seen more personally is that I think some users are really having a challenge getting their DOT back. Like, I think that's surprisingly it surprised me a little bit how much issues that we had to I guess help people to reclaim their dots. But as far as an impact on the market, honestly, I wasn't too surprised that it didn't have a huge negative impact on the market, because there were lots of opportunities for people to find ways to swap out with different tokens created. And so I believe those that are still holding DOT, or those that were in the crowd loans, are big believers of the DOT ecosystem, and I think they'll continue to be. And as we're all innovating and creating new things for the ecosystem, it's a positive and more opportunistic future that we have on Polkadot.
Thank you, and it's an interesting perspective. And Yuki, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, this is a big opportunity for the Polkadot ecosystem. And also, from the community feedback, we in the moving Chinese community, we used to initiate a small survey after the dot release. What you're gonna do for the released dot? But we have seen more than half of the voters, they choose still hold on dot and looking for more use cases, and so that they can leverage their extra dot value. So that's why we can so as you can see from the community recently, not just for promoting and for answering the frequent asked questions, how to claim the Crowdloan dots. Also, we mentioned a lot for the potentials scenarios, how to leverage the dot value within different types of projects. So I just want to add one more use cases, even on the on-chain task platform. You can so the project developers can freely use XC as a rewards for every campaign. So this is give dot more opportunities to widely spread to some Web3 users, even if they never interact with Polkadot ecosystem before, but they can use XC to have their first try and try to interact with a wallet, with a liquidity pool, or even with other DeFi protocols. So that's all for us. Like the release the dots definitely is an opportunity for us. But at the meanwhile, we still look seeing some of the concerns. Like come up from the community. So one of the major widely discussed is about still like for the direct difficulties for developing projects on Polkadot. So that's why I would say this is also a like a unique value granted to Moonbeam, because it will be easier for those developers deploy their projects by using the existed smart contracts or like Solidity programming language on the Moonbeam network, and then they can use the XCM channels so that you get involved with other parachains on Polkadot, for example, with Akala network, with Bifrost, and also leverage with our wallets together. So this can be like a new potentials for all of the developers and given by the dot release.
Okay, thank you, Yuki. Finally, I'd love to hear what Tyrone has to say.
Yeah, I think it's under the current circumstances, and the unlock with plenty of liquidity, so you can easily see that use cases are dramatically increasing the ecosystem. So that's why you can see a liquid staking of DOT is apparently being supported in the community, and you see that the use cases of liquid staking is increasing. That the collaboration like between Bifrost and Interlay, that liquid staking DOT can be used as the collateral in the lending and borrowing of IBTC, USDC, and so on. So for XEM cross-chain, how it works between Bifrost and HydraDX, how it works on the logic of XEM between treasury, between the parachain treasury and the liquid staking token. So more of the use cases you can see in the recently for the unlocking. So it comes out by the food of liquidity recently.
Okay, thank you so much for the valuable insights of our guest. And I think that market still have a lot of chance. And indeed, opportunities abound, but we are not always easy to grab it. And Coretime represents yet another promising opportunities within the Polkadot ecosystem. And with Coretime set to replace Crowdloan entirely, and what reflections and experience can you share about
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
The Crowdloan mechanic? So let's start with Tyrone this time.
Okay. I think on the parachain front, especially for the DeFi parachain, we might need much of a transaction for each block. So it's the requirement for plenty of frequently transaction for the core time. It means that we still might need a parachain for this, but not. But it does not mean that maybe Bifrost Kusama can be used in the Crowdtime for a while. Maybe that's the good experimental for the Crowdtime. And recently Crowdtime just launched for the testing. So we'd like to see how it works. So that's my point.
Okay, yeah, I agree with Tyrone. And next we'll turn to Yuki.
So here I would say like for the core time, currently there is no big impact for Moonbeam because the Moonbeam network has secured the subsequent slots, as a renew to ensure the option for Moonbeam until the 2 years later, 2025 June. So this subsequent slot was self-funded, so there was no need for additional crowd loans. But for Polkadot, we still have like a big expectation, especially like for the recent asynchronous backing, so which give us a lot of like space for expected what the future, the whole Polkadot performance looks like. Will there be like a faster network performance, allowing more types of projects developing on Polkadot? Because like previously we can see it is hard to find like some of the for example gaming or derivative trading projects happens on generated on Polkadot, but maybe in the future we can see such like use cases there. And also like for Moonbeam, we will like trying our best to attract and to support every developers who have like a higher demand for developing their own projects on the Moonbeam network, so that to support them not just for the like the grants program and others like the marketing and and developer support, because we have seen like for the parachains our like functions where may focus on more like to attract the application users, the developers, which is our main clients, to be into the Polkadot in order to build together. So in the short term, I would say like Coretime might be a little far from us. It's like a theoretic roadmap for the future, but currently like for the community perspective, we were still focusing on like how to lower the entry barrier for developers coming to the Polkadot ecosystem.
Yeah, excellent insight. Moving on, Travis, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the Crowdloan mechanism was a great experiment, and it's really what kind of set off DeFi summer for Polkadot. So I think that was great to really rev things up. I think the change with Coretime, I mean, in tech you have to continuously innovate, and I think changing to Coretime is moving more into that direction, as it can reduce the cost of barrier or the barrier of entry for different parachains. So yeah, our thoughts is that overall it's positive. It's a change. It can bring innovation and perhaps a little more user adoption as well along with that.
Amazing. And now I'd like to hear from Ryan.
Well, I don't think I have much experience in Crowdloan, so maybe I skip this one. I can share more about how I think about the future when we introduce a core time to Polkadot. So I skip this one.
Okay, thank you. And last but not least, Aljo, could you share your thoughts on that?
Sure. I mean, similarly to Ryan, I am sort of at the application level of Polkadot, and so I don't have, a particularly deep insight into what to expect from Coretime. But maybe for those who don't understand, I can just explain very loosely what's kind of what I think, my understanding of what the point of the shift towards Coretime is. And so, in 2021, parachains purchased security and purchased the services that Polkadot has in like in a 1 year subscription or 2 year subscription, essentially. Or maybe it was 1 year. I don't know how long the slots go for. Maybe someone can correct me. I know that the crowd loans were locked up for 2 years, and so everyone is buying the same amount of services from Polkadot and for a fixed period, but that doesn't really make sense, because that's not how market dynamics work, there are some parachains who need a lot of Polkadot services, and there's some who need very little. And there's kind of, for those who know what a power law distribution is, you can imagine that there's a small number of very, very big, numbers, and a long, long tail of smaller and smaller numbers. And so, yeah, there's actually like a power law, and some of the biggest chains, like Moonbeam, for example, in order to scale, might need more of Polkadot services. And in many cases, some parachains that are very new or they're very niche and they're just, they're still experimenting, learning, and iterating, they don't need quite as much of Polkadot services. And so with Coretime, sort of two things are happening. One, people can purchase more flexibly Polkadot services. You can sort of only pay as you go. And two, previously Polkadot services were sort of sold, you're buying everything from Polkadot. You're buying sort of security, interoperability, and my understanding of Coretime is that we're sort of simplifying you can buy maybe just some of the ingredients of what Polkadot provides as opposed to the entire Polkadot service. I think an analogy that I saw Gavin Wood using was that currently Polkadot, sells pancakes. And now with the introduction of Coretime, instead of selling batches of 100 pancakes, we are selling, individual eggs, milk, and flour to make pancakes. And so people can make bread, people can make milkshakes, they can do whatever they want. And they can also buy on a pro rata basis as they need. So just for anyone who's wondering what this whole Coretime thing is about, there's my explanation.
Awesome. Thank you, Agile. I appreciate it. It kind of leans towards our next question coming on, but we'll pass it over to the next guest after this. But before we hit that off, I just want to ask everyone, if you can, go hit the blue bubble in the bottom right corner and then retweet out the space if you want to tag 2 friends there. We appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm and get this praise circulating. We'll move on to the next question, though, and I'll pass it over to Tyrone first. But this question also will be for all the panelists. First off, how do you think how will the introduction of Coretime influence Polkadot and the broader market? Also, what kind of opportunities do you feel it might bring, and how it will shape the Polkadot's future on the blockchain? We'd love to hear from you about this, Tyrone. I know some of these points have already been hit on, but if you can go a bit more in depth of the opportunity of the overall Polkadot market.
All right, thanks for the question, and thanks for Agile that mentioned about the definition of Coretime. In my opinion, I think that the Coretime definitely depends on does it really easy to develop for the developers. So for from the reflection of all dev team, we have to say that maybe we keep the same opinion with Yuki would mention about, is that maybe it's not quite easy for the developer to jump into the Polkadot ecosystem and grab a port time, rent for well, and develop an application in a short time. So it might be quite easy under the current circumstances. So I would say that Coretime will definitely increase the capability of Polkadot itself, but I think it depends on the availability of a developing an environment and the use case and application on Polkadot itself. So it's something that like the conditions to expand the use cases, the utilities for the Coretime. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tyrone. So I guess I'll pass it over to Ryan now. I know, Ryan, like you said, you didn't really have much experience on the Crowdloan mechanism side, but would you like to just break down a bit more about this here?
Hey, man, thank you. Okay, so in terms of, let's say the opportunities and maybe challenges that Coretime can bring to Polkadot, I would share in terms of my experience with Vietnamese builders. So before we founded and operate the Polkadot community here in Vietnam. So we often talk about Polkadot technology and its future, and many of them are builders, kind of serious builders who have experience in the Web3 space, and also a big believer in Web3. So when talking about the Crowdloan model, many people, builders in Vietnam, they kind of see that as a big barrier for them to enter, because especially in the last bull run, when the project has to to have the contribution of about like $30 million or $10 million, $20 million in order to secure a pathogen slot. So it takes them a lot of resources to attract enough dot holders to contribute for them. And another point is about the economic model. So they need to incentivize the dot holders who contributed for them with their own tokens. But in fact, at that time, they didn't have proven business model or something like that. So at the very beginning, they need to give tokens for the contributors. So that is not really a good business model for them in their point of view. And in fact, some of the builders who we talk to, they after kind of research, a lot of research, they really like the technology of substrate, but because of the big barrier, they decided to build on Cosmos because they can use the Cosmos SDK to build a customized chain without any barrier, without any giving any big resources. So I think with the introduction of Coretime, kind of pay-as-you-go model, it can lower the barrier a lot. So for the builders, even one single builder, they can start testing or experiment their ideas very fast. I also think that because for the Web3 projects, almost of them are very they have small team, maybe start from like one or two or a few developers. So they are startups. So with startups, they need to test the idea in a very fast way and in a very very small resources. So I think with the introduction of Coretime, it offer those kind of opportunities for developers to start testing and building on Polkadot. And also recently, I see some initiatives and ideas about burning the revenues from Coretime sales. So I think this is a very good idea because it can help deflationary for the dot for Polkadot. So the economic model of dot can be will be better and better. When the economic model of dot better, we can see more demands for Coretime. And if we see more demands for Coretimes, we have more revenue from Coretime sales, and we can burn more. And it again will better the economic model. So it's kind of the loop can continue. So I think it's a very good initiative. Another thing is that I think maybe in the next few years, Polkadot will need to do more kind of initiatives to attract builders because we all believe that we have really good technology. But the thing is that how do we attract enough builders to really build on Polkadot seriously, long term, and we need successful case studies in order to prove that we people can leverage the Polkadot core technology to build very successful projects that offer real life use cases for the user, and by that way we can attract more and more builders to build on Polkadot, and as a result we can attract more end users to Polkadot. So maybe the the fields that we can focus more in the future is to leverage the Polkadot technology is the competitive advantage of Polkadot, such as security or high performance applications or data or privacy. So those are the fields that I think that we have the potential.
Awesome, Ryan. Thank you so much. And I think you made some fantastic points there, especially like when it comes to reducing barriers of entry is one big thing. But there's definitely a bunch of different bottlenecks that this can combine together to fix. Like, we've had a lot of points hit on the liquidity side, on the user side, and the community side. So all these things combined definitely will help pull over and increase the success overall of all of this. So I know Ryan definitely hit a lot there, but Travis, do you have any input on this question here? We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, Ryan really hit the nail on the head with that. And the only thing I can really add is for Polkadot to really find product market fit, like applications that have product market fit that would encourage the user adoption. And with that, with Coretime breaking some barriers for developers, it allows more chances of having the right product, right? Like Ryan mentioned, that will bring successful use cases, that will bring more developers, that kind of start that loop. So with Coretime being introduced, if it encourages more developers, if it opens up more opportunities for great products to be built, then we're all for it. But besides that, he hit every point I would want to make.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Like, again, at the end of the day, bringing on, more developed, more use cases brings the opportunity for more consumers. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to drive liquidity and drive further success of the overall ecosystem. So absolutely can agree with you on that. I'll pass it over to Yuki, though. Do you have any comments about this question? Again, I realize Ryan definitely killed the answer on this question and answered a lot of things I think a lot of us think. But do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I would definitely totally 100% agree with what Ryan shared to us. Uh, yeah, besides increase the flexibility and cost effectiveness, also for the whole Polkadot ecosystem, improve the performance. Sorry, I'm just repeating it again. Also for increasing the demand of those, and maybe it's expected to increase the potential revenue for the Polkadot ecosystem. So I would say yeah, we all have a good expectation. And it seems like for the Agile Coretime will be launched for the next year, like the first quarter or the second quarter for the next year. So let's see what's going on for that. And also definitely this is a good progress for all of the developers and believers in the Polkadot ecosystem. And we're looking for if any methods we can lower the entry barriers for developers building their own specialized chains on Polkadot. And because recently we have seen there's a tendency that not just in Polkadot, others like in Cosmos and in Ethereum's ecosystem, but more and more developers at the beginning, not started from an application, but instead they want to starting to build up their own ecosystem. Built as an app chain, which would give definitely an opportunity for Polkadot, which is an expert for building up app chain for this industry.
Absolutely. Agile, do you have anything to add here? I know you kind of, again, hit on this before we even started the question, but is there anything else you'd like to add on top of everyone else's comments here?
Not really. I mean, I think the implementation, the move towards Coretime away from chains having to buy Polkadot services in a big batch is going to lead to more applications, or it's going to become cheaper to launch a parachain and to leverage Polkadot, and so that's really promising because hopefully the outcome of that is more applications and more use cases and more bets being placed on things that can really drive growth and adoption for Polkadot. I think it's a really interesting vision for the future, and if anyone wants to, it's a good time to get involved in Polkadot and to follow along this sort of interesting journey. Polkadot's pretty revolutionary in terms of some of the things that are implemented. It's a pretty incredible experiment, in my opinion. And so, if you want to get involved, a good place to get started is the Talisman community. We have a lot of really amazing folks in our community that learn from one another, give each other user support, etc. And yeah, if you want to explore the Polkadot Paraverse, you can download Talisman at talisman.xyz.
Awesome. I think that's great. And also, again, everyone, just while Jeff was plugging himself in there, be sure to give all of these guest hosts a follow on Twitter. Also, be sure to dive into each one of their communities. You can click on each of their heads there in the top of the chat as they're speaking, and just go through their profiles and find the projects they're working on. We have a bunch of people here that have some amazing things to talk about and some amazing things they're building. So we appreciate you all for showing up today. Another thing too, I think we need to really focus on and think about is it's just like Agile mentioned as well as Ryan and a few of the other guests. Is like I think this will definitely restrict the barrier to entry for a lot of these teams. I don't think a lot of people necessarily realize not only the resources that go into just securing a crowd loan option slot, but not just as well as the resources put into actually achieving the marketing to get that slot as a whole. It's very costly and very time consuming. And removing these types of barriers for the smaller teams is definitely going to influx the amount of teams coming in to build and reduce that barrier significantly. So we're definitely interested to see what comes to the future here. It's very exciting. So we're going to move on to the next question now. And this is just, kind of more of an open question for each one of the panelists to kind of share, what plans they have here in the near future. Is there anything exciting going on, or is there anything you just want to share with the community, maybe some alpha? I'll pass it over to Ryan to start this one off.
Okay, so I think for sub wallet we will keep continue building heavily and try our best to keep update with the ecosystem, and every time the ecosystem has new features, we will do our best to have that features available in sub wallet all platforms as quick as we can. So in that way we can prove and showcase the strong technologies of the Polkadot ecosystem to the users, not only in the ecosystem but also outside ecosystem. When we have a chance to talk to them and introduce about sub-wallet and Polkadot ecosystem to them. And also I mentioned a lot about the developers in Vietnam earlier. So we kind of really want to attract more builders to build on Polkadot. So we are doing our best to promote Polkadot among Vietnamese developers here. And in order to have them to have interested in building in Polkadot, and as a result, we can attract more end users. So we are running a hackathon in Vietnam, and hopefully we can do more and more events for the Polkadot ecosystem in the next years, similar to what we have done in the past few years, like the Dot in Vietnam event, and so Polkadot decoded satellite event in Vietnam, and beyond the chain Vietnam, and so on. So I would say that Vietnam is a huge crypto market, and we have a lot of Vietnamese builders in the blockchain space, and we really want to attract them to pay more attention and to build on Polkadot.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. And again, everyone, be sure to give Ryan a follow and be sure to go over and hit Subwall to follow, get activated in their community, keep up to date with everything they're building and what's going on. So I'll pass this question now over to Travis from Macala. We'd love to hear, what you guys have for your plans ahead in the future. If you want to share maybe some alpha or some, some events coming up, let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys have on the go in the near future here.
Yeah, no, I'd love to share. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So, I mean, ultimately, the goal of Akala is to consumerize and localize LSTs so that anybody can have, access to yield products, whether it's your grandmother, whether it's your barber or taxi driver, just to make it so that everyone can have access. And whether it's going to be through a fintech or banking provider, they almost won't realize that Akala is in the back end of that. So that's our main goal, our vision. That's what we're working towards. I mean, we've launched we're launching also institution grade products. More recently, we launched with Credora to provide a secure Bitcoin yield via LDOT, our LST. So we're focusing on hopefully getting some institutional demands so that can be packaged into products that can go to consumers. So that's kind of our big plan ahead, and that's kind of what we're working towards. And as far as alpha, we're also partnered with Meta Defender. This is kind of alpha, semi-alpha. partnered with Meta Defender, and they're building a options or a whole perpetuals ecosystem on Akala, and they're bringing it over. And right now they're in test nets, and it's been for the last month. Unfortunately, today's I think the last day of the event. So if you check out Meta Defender and you partake in their options trading of our A seed, you can have some fun with it. You know, betting on the price going up or going down. And I believe partaking in it does qualify you for somewhat of an airdrop. So something to check out. It is the last day of the event, but I'm sure they're going to have some more. And as more of the products develop, we'll be testing them out and having fun with the community. So that's something to check out if you haven't. And if not, of course, follow us on Akala, on our main account on Twitter. And if you haven't staked your DOT, you can stake your DOT at farm.akala.network. Thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Travis. We really appreciate you coming to share that information. So I'll pass the question over to Yuki now. Obviously, there's some pretty interesting things going on at Moonbeam right now. I know you guys have a few events on the go, but would you like to share anything coming up necessarily in the future, anything exciting going on right now? Or do you have any alpha for us to share? We'd love to hear it.
That's great. A great time to share. So yes, we do have currently we are organizing the Moonbeam community is organizing a campaign called Moonbeam Ignite, which allows users to get involved into our newly launched, especially for DeFi projects, to learn more about how is the interoperability solution works and about the potential for XCM, and even for the released dots, where can use these dots for do more interesting stuff and focus on the for the Moonbeam Ignite. So the campaign is still ongoing. If you are interested in that, just follow up the Moonbeam network on our Twitter account. And besides, yes, so for the Moonbeam ecosystem, we're still continue to keep working on the decentralized governance in order to make sure every token holders they will have the right to participate, get involved into any proposal happens on the Moonbeam network. So currently, for every proposal, including the tech upgrades, the grants proposal, and some of the big important proposals issued by the Moonbeam Foundation, you can just have a review and come up with your own opinion and the comments to the Moonbeam Foundation forum. And besides, we have considered about maybe how to release the value for the Glimmer tokens, because most of our holders prefer to stake the Glimmer holders in order to support the collators. So here on the Moonbeam network, you can still use your staked Glimmers to vote for any proposal you might want to get involved in. This is a big progress follow up with the Polkadot governance latest version. And this is also achieved on the Moonbeam network. So feel free to check out the proposal on the Moonbeam network. This is an important step, how we move to a decentralized world. And besides, yes, to wider our ecosystem landscape, it's an important task for us. So that's also a common frequent asked questions from our community. So for me, I'm always ask the foundation any updates or the big roadmap. So they said yes, but for now I can't say anything and disclose anything on that. So please stay tuned and keep an eye onto our Moonbeam official network. I suppose you can just click the follow up within the listener Moonbeam network official account already there. So that's all I can share.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So I'll pass the question over to Tyrone now. Does you have anything to share with us? Bifrost, if there's any new, I know you guys have some exciting stuff you just released. If you want to just touch base on that again, but is there anything maybe coming up you want to share with us as well? Maybe some alpha. We'd love to hear it all. So how to get in contact with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. We'll keep expanding the omni-chain liquid staking service to other power chains, integrating the LSD minting on HydroDX, Interlay, Manta, Fala. So we will provide more of liquid staking of other power chains like V Manta or V Fala. This is not. It is not. It's not officially announcement for this. Just what I'm thinking about now. But for next launching of more of power chain level liquid staking token, that's what we will push after the unlocking event. So, but right now, we're still focusing on the utility front of dot unlocking. For the partial interactions, it's also the interesting case that if the asset hub could allot, or we can say, or unlock the limitation of XEM calling from a power chain. So which means if the users, like if you use it on Bifrost, you can just directly mint the liquid staking token on Asset Hub. So that would be interesting, but it depends on the XEM limitations. On the Asset Hub. So we would like to discuss this with Parity and see what's their aspect on this. It might unlock more of utility on the DeFi front on Polkadot if the availability on the XEM, that's a lot of users to call, but definitely it also includes some potentially risks on the limitation of this. So we would like to see and discuss with the Parity team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tyrone. We appreciate you for taking the time to show up to the space today and to share your inputs and thoughts, as well as all your value you guys have inputted in regards to what you're building at Bifrost. We really do appreciate, doing all this and taking the time to really inform and educate the community. So yeah, we'll pass this to our last speaker now. Agile, do you have anything to share about, anything coming up with Talisman, how to get activated within your guys' community, as well as maybe any other details you'd like to share with us here? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, definitely. So there is one thing you can participate in, which we'll be announcing very soon. It's already live on Airlift. We have an Airlift campaign where if you are staking some DOT, you can enter into the draw to win a Decent biometric hardware wallet. Decent is a Korean manufacturer and retailer of hardware wallets. They're the biggest hardware wallet provider in Korea, or like really the only one as far as I know. And we've partnered with them to do some amazing giveaways. We've integrated the Decent wallet into Talisman. And so if you go to Airlift, AIRLYFT, dot, hang on, let me actually check what the URL, I'll check what the URL is, I'll post it. But if you go to Airlift, there's a great competition you can participate in now, where you can win a Decent wallet valued at about 130 USD retail. And we'll be announcing that tomorrow, so you can check out the Talisman Twitter as well. But also Talisman has recently released version 1.19, where we have some amazing features that allow you to customize your Talisman experience, including folders for organizing your accounts. Maybe you're an airdrop farmer, or you're a multi-sig signer, and you want to organize your accounts into folders. You can leverage multiple languages. We now support Korean, Chinese, Russian, and English, of course, but there's a couple of languages in there. You can also track your portfolio in 6 different fiat currencies, as well as ETH, BTC, and DOT. So we've got some amazing customization features. I highly recommend checking it out. I just posted a thread on the Talisman Twitter very recently, which you can check out if you would like more details. But yeah, other than that, really appreciate you guys having me on, and I'm looking forward to next time.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry, I had to press my unmute button about 10 times there before I got it to work. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, I think this has been a fantastic space today. We are over an hour now, so I do want to be conscious of our panelists as well as our guest time. As we know, your time is very precious to you, and it's definitely a challenge to take an hour out of your day, especially on a Monday when the week's kicking off. So thank you all so much for this amazing space. Again, we had Bifrost, Subwallet, Akala, Talisman, and Moonbeam here today for a fantastic conversation. If for some reason you happen to miss any of the conversation, be sure to check out the recording. It'll be uploaded moments after the space ends, so you can check out anything you might have missed, or if you want to just, tune in and take a look at something that you might have wanted to, hear back again, you'll be able to check out that space. And yeah, be sure to follow all of our guests, and we appreciate you so much. And Kristen from PolkaWorld as well for putting on this space. I think it was a fantastic event today, and definitely looking forward to the bright future Polkadot has ahead of it. There's some amazing things going on, as much as there's some challenges within the space. It's united in the technology that we're building together, as well as individually. That's going to really help, our community grow and be this successful as we can be in this space. So thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week as it's just starting. Positive vibes to everyone, and let's move forward, together as a community in this one. Follow everyone that is in this space, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, and thank you everybody, and see you. And we look forward to more fruitful discussions in the future. And until next time, stay informed and stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Cheers.